Who needs some luck this year, Gordon? Who needs some luck? And I'm not talking about the rest of the men in the Boston Marathon field going against Eliud Kipchoge. They need a miracle. I'm not talking about miracles. I mean, I'm talking about who needs some luck this year on the outdoor circuits.
Am I going first?
Yeah. Yeah. What's your first? Who gets your first
So I
four-leaf
have
clover?
two women get my first 4-leaf clover. Two women.
Okay. They have to
Women number
split it? Does it
one
become a two-leaf clover?
is, yeah, they got to split the clover. Women number one is whoever the second fastest 400-meter hurdler is in the world. It's probably Femke Bol. However, Britton Wilson's kind of making an argument for it, but I think it's Femke.
Mm-hmm.
So Femke gets half of the clover. And then the other clover goes to whoever the fastest 400-meter runner is in the world. Not sure who that is. Could be. There's a bunch to choose from. Maybe it's Britton Wilson. I don't know. But whoever it is,
Paulino?
whoever, imagine who that fastest 400-meter runner woman is, because you could say it's a bunch of different women. They
Mm-hmm.
need to be the most. They need the most luck because their luck depends on what Sydney decides to do. They need the
Mm-hmm.
luck of Sydney choosing not to do their event. Because if Sydney does the
Mm-hmm.
400 hurdles, Femke's out of luck. 400's in luck. If she decides to do the 400, Femke's got the luck, and the 400-meter
Yep.
runners do not have the luck. So the second best 400-meter hurdler and the best 400-meter runner need all the luck in 2023.
I agree with that. 100%. I guess Bowl could cover herself and Wilson. They could try to do both.
They
Bowl
hedge
doesn't have to
themselves.
worry about. Well, Bowl doesn't need to worry about qualifying. Wilson would need to worry about qualifying in both, which would be hard. Be a little taxing for her. I think she could do it, depending on the schedule. But I think Bowl could cover her bases and then scratch out if something changes. The day that announcement comes, like whenever we figure that out, if things continue the way they're going to continue, if all these women that are involved in this 400 4-meter hurdle cycle, the day we figure out clarity on what Sydney runs, that's an emergency podcast day. We need to stop whatever we're doing. We need to find our way to a microphone because that has huge repercussions, not just for this season, but for 2024, legacy implications as well. I'm calling it now. That's the rare, like pre-planned emergency pod.
I want to see Seb Coe show up to the top woman in the other event with like a giant
Yeah.
check, like Publishers Clearinghouse, with like balloons and like
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
Sydney and be like, "Congrats, Sydney is not racing you. You have won
Yeah.
2023 because you don't have to race Sydney." I feel like that would be a fun way to like announce. She does like a whole like you won the lottery type thing.
Yeah. My thought process was when they were talking about going into the 400 and then future doubles and all that stuff, I just think 400 this year and then the double in Paris. That's where my mind is going right now, which of course then would leave the 400 hurdles more open for Bowl, more open for Wilson, more open for Muhammad. I mean, everybody moves up a spot at that point, and the gold medal becomes open. But this is so interesting because you have so many women who are good at both events. And then you have someone like Paulino sitting there in the open quarter. She ran sub 49 last year. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Her medal odds are impacted by this as well. You have women on the U.S. team who could get another spot in the 400 or one less spot, I should say, if Sydney decides to do it. So this is as far reaching as it gets in terms of one person's decision. Because usually you're not talking about all these other people in play. It's, oh, they're going to run the 1 and the 2. Oh, okay. Well, then they're also a medal favorite. It's not, oh man, then this other person might zig back to the other event because that person is in this event. And I think that's what makes it so much fun. So I agree with you. This is a good event that needs some luck. I'll go with
All right, your turn.
I'll stay with the 400 hurdles. I'll go with stay with the 400 hurdles. Allison Dos Santos. This is pretty easy, pretty straightforward. Injury to his knee, meniscus. We need some updates on the surgery. We hope it's going well because we all want to see the big three there competing. So I hope the recovery goes quick and smooth because we want to see this not just in Budapest, we want to see it in Paris and so on and so forth for as many years as we can get. So yeah, I got Dos Santos.
I'm going to go into the college world, and I'm going to say, you know who needs a little bit of luck this outdoor season? Drew Bosley. He has now had 3 straight top 3 finishes at NCAAs, NCAA cross, indoor 5K, indoor 5K, indoor 3K. He got third, then second. So he's moving up towards first. But I think he's going to need a little bit of luck outdoors because the 5K, it's going to be unique. You don't know who's actually going to run it. It's going to become everyone's focused on it. It's going to be outdoors, the elements. Will he be able to pull off a win, or will his career be like a Chris Derrick type of career or Joe Klecker type career where you're always in it, but you're always just one away? You're always that one slot away. So Drew Bosley's going to need a little bit of luck to see if he can get his first individual title. I'm thinking, though, if he doesn't get the luck this year, he might not need the luck next year because in 2024 he should be the favorite, depending on, I guess, if everyone returns or not. But yeah, Drew Bosley needs a little bit of luck. I mean, all runners need luck, though, right?
Yeah. But
there's luck involved in it. I'm not trying to take away his
of
skill.
Course.
He just needs a little luck.
But you could say that he was unlucky in that he was in the mix for 3 championships and came away with a second, and a third. You could say that he had some odds are he's going to win one of those. Yes. He's good enough to win at least one of those. Okay, I went with the men's 1500 meter field, and we've talked about how there's a lot of countries who have a medal candidate. We talked about how interesting that field's going to be. But you read these quotes from Jakob Ingebrigtsen coming out of the indoor season, and I would be scared of him if I was another 1500 meter runner in the world. So I think the rest of the world, other than Jakob Ingebrigtsen, needs a little bit of luck. Let me read some quotes to you from Jakob. I am not happy with my indoor season. Not at all. That's the first one. Mind you, this is an indoor season where he didn't lose. He ran pretty quick in Leven, considering he was sick. And then he goes to Euros and doubles up and beats a guy who had a hot hand in Neil Gorley. It was a quality win over Gorley. And then he looked really good in the 3K as well, too. Another quote from Jakob, which would make me very scared. Quote, my main goal is to become the best runner that ever existed. He could have said the best runner to ever step on the track. He could have said the best miler. No, Gordon, he chose the most fierce language possible. Ever existed. Existed. I think that puts it over the top. Jakob is an elite trash talker in addition to his other skills. He has an elite way with words, and the fact that he put ever existed on the end of it just shows how good he is at talking trash. It's remarkable. We need to not let his running accomplishments distract us from the fact of how good he is at this.
I think the next thing, though, he needs to one-up it. He needs to one-up his trash talk. He says he wants to be the best runner that ever existed. He needs to change that. I want to be the best runner that will ever exist. So not only talk trash about everyone in the past, be better than everyone in the past, but I'm going to be better than everyone in the future. Like, hey, some person who's going to be born in 2040, I'm going to be better than you. Just being able to be like, forever, just past, present, and future. Just competing against the future.
Just stop running the 1500. Just the men should stop with the event after me. It will not exist after I retire.
They're going to retire the event.
Put my spikes down on the track and walk off. Yeah. Just make it a 3K at that point.
And then
3K. That's it.
Yeah, they'll still have the 1500 at every World Champs and and Olympics, but instead of hosting a race, they just do a whatever his world record time is, like moment of
Yeah.
silence, and everyone just sits there and just listens to the call of his world record, and they never run it again.
Yeah. I'm telling you, man, he is an impressive trash talker, and I think he genuinely believes it, which is why it comes across as so natural. He just says these things. Remember, he said, "It's not my fault. Like they're not better than me. Like that's not, that they're just not as good as me." He had the hot weather as happy weather quote off the cuff. Like he had that ready to roll in Eugene. I mean, he should. I don't know if politics is in his future or just improv. I mean, the guy is impressive, and I think the way he's able to pull it off is that it comes so naturally to him, right? Like he actually believes these things, and I know people want to say, "Oh, he's arrogant," but you also want you want athletes in general to say how they feel. So now you have a guy saying honestly how he feels. You can't critique that. You try to beat him, and the great thing is when he gets beat, he doesn't shy away from it. He just one ups it. He just goes like he'll talk trash about himself. Doha 2019 quote, "I'm the biggest loser," end quote. I mean, no matter what happens, he is not shying away. He's not backing down. He's always got something. He's incredible at this.